Packmates, a podcast about Magic the Gathering Limited, where we take a deep dive in the current limited format. The Packmates are a group of friendly card sharks that enjoy hanging out, going to F&Ms, and drafting in any limited stuff. Don't forget to check out our Discord. All the links are in the description. Make sure you guys check that stuff out. Subscribe, like, really helps. I'm Ryan, your resident aggro expert.
I'm Roby, your resident 5-color expert.
And I'm Andrew, your resident mid-range detective.
And
we are the Packmates.
Packmates.
Today we're going to talk about our draft decks that we just did, our first real in-person in-pod draft. We're going to talk about some thoughts on the format, some cards we love.
Yeah, for Valentine's
and
Day.
Crack a Pack.
It'll probably have already happened by the time this episode comes out, but yep.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day special.
Yeah. So we'll start off with Andrew's draft.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'm the detective expert this week, so I drafted detectives. It was kind of interesting. I actually got some of the highlights of the deck were actually for Projector Inspector. That's the 2 colorless, 1 blue for a 3/2 human detective. Whenever Projector Inspector or another detective enters the battlefield under your control, or whenever a detective is turned face up, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So you get to loot on this guy. And so I had 4 of them. And it also helped trigger one of Roby's favorite cards in this set. He's been talking about it. Jaded Analyst. Yeah, Jaded Analyst.
Somebody said that was the worst common in this set.
I didn't think it was very good. It was
kind of fine. Yeah.
It was kind of decent in this deck. And Inside Source was actually quite decent as well. The one that makes it's a 1/1.
That one's really good.
That's a bomb.
Yeah.
2 colorless and 1. Any of these guys who make 2 guys in this set, or just, I make a token, I make a this, I do something else. Yeah. Pretty decent in this set.
They beat the removal decks.
Yeah. With all I guess it's just because of the suspect guys. Like, it's just, Menace is a big part of this set.
Well, not only that, but like it also just really, really, really beats the mono removal decks.
Yes.
Like it auto wins against them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I had 2 Private Eyes, which were
Good.
super good. I mean, the guy is just a 3/3 for a 3 is already pretty good in blue-white, which is something you never really see. It's always like some dorky flyer at this, it'd be like a 2/2 flyer, but now you're getting like 3/3s on the ground. So this deck's kind of sneakily aggressive. And so I didn't have very much in the way of like big removal. I had a Makeshift Binding. That's the kind of O-ring card that gains you 2 life for just creatures. I was aggressively playing Burden of Proof on my guys, just making 2/2 flash was pretty good. I was able to like get some good 2-for-1s there out of that. And I thought it was pretty good. I had the Case of the Pilfered Proof. That's the detective case. Whenever a detective enters battlefield, or when a detective is turned face up, you get to put a 1/1 counter on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all the time. And then when you have 3 or more detectives, solve the case. When a token's made, you get to make a clue token as well, which is pretty nice. I didn't really get to play the case too much. I never really drew it. It was unfortunate, I'm sure it would have been wild in my deck on 2.
Yeah.
And it would have been just a beating because I feel like 4 is like that magic number right now. Or like a 4 toughness or a 4 something is just really good. Power or toughness is very strong in this format. Yeah, it was good. I went 2 and 1. I lost to this like 5-color pile deck, and I probably should. I probably should. Those decks are pretty decent.
Yeah,
it was like a 5-color base green deck, and it just out muscled me with 4/4s, and so my 3/3s really couldn't bust through.
Yep.
So there we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
You beat me.
Yeah.
Looked good.
Speaking of 5-color piles, Roby, how did you do this week?
So I ended up going technically 2-1. I had a bye, which counts as a win, but
Yep. 2-1.
2-1. And I lost the first round to aggro, but I was basically playing like an absolute nonsense pile. Basically, like I was running 5 colors. I had a ton of fixing, and I had a billion rares and mythics. and I was doing really, really, really degenerate like graveyard stuff by exiling my creatures and then using like Insidious Roots, which is the 2-mana enchantment that makes it so like whenever a creature card leaves your graveyard, you make a plant token, and then it gives like all your plant tokens plus a +1/+1 counter. And I also was using a list card Quintorius with also using.
What is Quintorius?
Oh my gosh.
Whenever you exile thing.
Yeah.
Whenever a card leaves your graveyard, it's not just exile. Yep. But Quintorius, and then I was using my Planeswalker Kaya to like use the exiled cards to turn my tokens into random creatures from my opponent's graveyard. Or just from mine. Kaya only works with my graveyard. But yeah, it was a really weird, super degenerate pile of nonsense.
Yeah.
How many rares and mythics did you have in your deck?
I had at least three mythics.
I think that's it though.
Three mythics.
Just three mythics.
And Cryptex.
Cryptex. I also had the rare that gets you a land. So 3 mythics and 2 rares.
Oh, that searches for
Yeah,
green?
yeah. Yeah.
Or any card, right?
Or a creature, which could be Quintoris too, right? So, yep. It was pretty good. I ended up losing round 1 to like mega red-white aggro, which I probably could have dealt with better if he just kind of had the nuts though.
Yeah.
Like all the 2/2 flyers that get flying whenever you play something with power 1 or less. 2 or less, yep. Oh, I also had that mythic Ansrag, the Quake Mole.
Oh, that
so
guy's
like,
good.
if you just like disrupted my Quintoris degenerate combo, then I would just kill people with my 8/4. So like, yeah, that card was really stupid.
And then if you killed the 8/4, you recurred it with Kaya. So.
Yeah, I turn a 1/1 flyer into.
So Roby, how many times did you actually assemble the Rube Goldberg machine here?
Every time that wasn't against red white aggro.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Twice.
Well,
and you played some matches for
I
fun.
played a fun match against
the guy that ended up winning. Yeah.
And cooked them.
You cooked him?
Like, yeah. It was for fun, right? Yeah. But yeah.
It's all right. He won, so.
He won.
He won the tournament. So
I could talk my trash.
yeah, you could definitely talk the smack.
Yeah,
Copium.
like
Copium.
it was a real like Ryan says it's kind of a paper rock scissors format. Yep. Kind of felt like it. I just never beat aggro. Yep.
Yeah, which apparently my deck wasn't.
Yeah, tell
Even
us
though-
What about this aggro deck here?
I had a Rakdos deck that had one card that costed 4 and everything else could be played for 3 or less. Like I had flip guys.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and I ended up 1 and 2. Sad day. Sad time.
When was the last time you were 1 and 2?
I think maybe when I was 6 years old. No, I'm just kidding. It happens, right?
When I was a wee little lad.
But I lost to Andrew and I lost to Roby. So those are
That's like the worst losses.
Yeah, man, that's pretty rough.
Did you go to game 3 against anyone?
I went to game 3 against Andrew. I beat the guy that beat you.
Yeah.
And then
Hardly.
against Andrew,
This deck
I
was insane.
kept
yeah.
a 2-lander and I never
Oh.
hit the 3rd land.
Yeah.
Game 1 and I mulled the 5 game 3.
Oh, how many times did you mulligan twice? Oh.
Yeah, mulled the
That's
5
nice.
game 3. And it was close. Game 3 was close. I smashed in the one fair game we had.
That's actually true. He definitely did. His deck was actually really good.
Yeah, disagree.
You disagree your deck was bad?
I don't know about
Like it had some pieces, but it's kind of what I want to get into later. But yeah, the highlights, like I had the 1/1 Menace Wolf and like all my stuff triggered it to surveil.
Yeah.
Like literally all of it. And then I had Overrun and flip a card, and that was just like a bomb. That's how I beat my one game that I won. And then I had the case that you discard a card, draw 2, and then if you're ever empty, you draw 3 every turn.
Good, yeah.
And I tried to I first picked that case, and then I tried to lean on it, but I ended up not finding it a lot, right? So
Or like even
milling it with my 1/1s.
Sometimes it just like isn't good against certain decks too, right?
Yeah, it's like not good enough to beat a board of humongous plants. Even though it was almost.
It almost
The
was
next
good
card
enough.
when I
It
lost
was
to
almost
Roby
good enough.
was Overrun, and I had like 8 dudes, but he like exiled the mole, and I was at 11, and that was like hyper lethal because he put it on a huge plant.
On a 3/3 plant, so you had to block it.
Yeah.
Which gave me double combats. So like no matter what you did, like I was still gonna.
Jeez.
You had to block it with your 1 reacher because it gives it flying too.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
Yeah, Kaya is really good.
Kaya's
That's
good.
strong, yeah.
It was passed to me. It was passed to me. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yep. And so, yeah, ended up 1-2. I think my deck is like a case study of how to not win in this format. Not enough bombs and rares, not enough smoothing of my deck to like make it function the way it has to function to beat decks like yours. Like I didn't have enough like cycle, go through, like find stuff that I needed. And
You needed like a
and I
bunch
also
of
like
demand answers.
probably misplayed some, honestly.
Yeah. I know I did.
I like there was a point in the game where I could have made 2/1/1 flyers against Roby that I probably should have done that instead of playing whatever I had, because like flyers against Roby would have just been nuts.
Yeah.
But he didn't have Kaya and stuff going at that time. So like as soon as he played Kaya, he exiled it the first turn he played it. And like the 2 flyers kind of wrecked Kaya.
Yep.
But and then I probably wasn't aggressive enough on the swings. Like the board state was like super complex.
You're like too aggressive.
I think I wasn't aggressive enough.
I always
like to win the
but
game.
But like, yeah, I don't know from your perspective, right?
Yeah.
Just know from mine.
Right. Like, yeah.
Because like the more aggressive you get, you kind of just like fuel my Cryptex, right? Like you just kind of fuel the random stuff. Like
yeah, but like if you do that stuff, like I'm gonna lose, right?
Yeah,
So I have to beat you before you can like fully go into like engine mode, right?
Yeah.
And so the only way to do that is to be more aggressive. But there was like a point in the game where like you had the 1/3 that fixes, and you can exile it from your graveyard to exile another creature. And like if he would have blocked with it and it would have died, it was like hyper bad for me. So it's just so hard to navigate it. But like I think I have to be like, well, it's bad for me. Like I just have to push damage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Could have played better for sure. But didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you said afterwards, you're like, I don't even think you were using Kaya right.
Yeah.
But it was still so good.
Yeah.
Like
Roby -2 to Kaya one time ever.
Yeah, because I didn't want to get rid of my stuff. I didn't care about your big stuff. I just
Exiles
rather have
my stuff.
I exile my stuff most of the time just to make more plants.
Yeah. Yep.
Just to have a cooler board state.
Oh,
Yeah. But obviously I also didn't know what you had in your hand.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, like I like in using Kaya optimally with what was going on.
It's so incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's such a buff to me to just make the board state untenable.
There was like
once it's just
Roby had a 10-minute turn and he had 4 mana. And I was like, bro, like we're gonna go to time. I was like, what are you doing? And he just like played a 4-drop. I was like, oh my God. And it took you 10 minutes to play a 4-drop.
Because I had to like map it all out. There's so much.
Like I was triggered because like I already knew I was probably losing. And he's taking like 10 minutes on turn 4. I'm like, dude.
I'm like, well, do I want to just like hyper make a billion plants or not?
I just remember hearing, this is the week.
Yeah.
Just knew already he was going to lose.
Yeah.
I saw nothing but tokens on Roby's side. I was like, oh my gosh. But it honestly was close at the end. I mean, like literally you're 1 card away.
Yeah.
From
It was on
winning.
top, but yeah. Like I was like hyper just getting rid of cards off my deck, just looking for my one way to win the game.
Yeah.
But yep. Can't have one way to win the game. That's the big lesson, first off.
Yep.
And then got to smooth your decks, and you can't rely too heavily on commons and uncommons. I think me and Andrew both like kind of learned that lesson a little bit today.
Yeah,
like
got
if
burned
you
by rares.
like there's just some cards you have to be able to deal with or lose, and if they draw them, you lose. Like, and that's what makes me think it's kind of like rock paper scissorsy.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
there's things you can do to mitigate the rock paper scissorsness, right? Like there's things we can all do to get better. There's things I can definitely do to get better, and one of those is play better, and that's all I got to do. So.
Build better decks.
Yeah. So kind of want to go into talking about this format a little bit. And like this format to me is a format that generally I don't like. It's very bomb heavy. It's very, it's the cards are like equal kind of in I'm stumbling, but power level. Like a lot of cards are like fine in every deck, right? Like if you just play the cards, they're fine. And so what that punishes to me, a format like this is punishes like tuned decks that just kind of do what they're supposed to do, because they can all get erased by like 1 card, right?
Yep.
And so in this format, what I'm going to focus on and what I generally focus on is like, oh, bad beats, whatever, right? Like, and that's not like, that's cope, right? So what I'm going to instead focus on is going back and looking at what I could have done better and I think the other thing you need to focus on is if you have the common uncommon deck, it has to be mega tight. Like it has to be looting or surveilling or some way to fix your stuff. Because if you stumble and you let Robies do whatever they want, like you're gonna lose. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely no way to beat that deck. So those are my kind of thoughts on the format.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah. Well,
That's my new
I don't
approach to
know.
this format.
like these games are extremely complex.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the board states are crazy.
The lines that you
There's
have in a game like this
are wild.
are like you have like 7 lines, and in other formats you maybe have like 2 lines.
Yeah.
Or 3 lines, right?
Yeah.
Like it
So-
literally took me 10 minutes to do like one turn because I had like 2 upside down guys that could have maybe
Yeah.
flipped or
Yeah.
like
And then you had
there's so many lines.
3 different
Everyone-
cards in your hand you could have played, and you also had to deal with like your Kaya activation and like
The one thing that I've learned the most about this format is this is one of the most mana hungry formats.
Oh
I've
my
ever
gosh,
seen.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you need to
Oh
be
my
playing
gosh.
when you get to
either-
10 lands, you still use them all.
Yeah.
every
Yes,
turn.
yes. I
It's
was tapping
insane.
out every.
Yeah, I found that in my
single time.
detective deck today. I was like, damn, I was on 4 lands. I was like, I should be good. I'll have 3 drops. And I was like, no, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like I
You wanna
needed like
flip stuff.
I
you
needed
wanna
6
do
lands
stuff.
at least. And I should have just pitched. Actually, I started pushing guys to just hit my land drops. And that was a huge mistake on my part. Again, I can look back at that now and be like, this is very important to hit those land drops. Maybe dropping to 16 lands isn't the way to do it. And going back to good old 17 and above.
I was
maybe
running
even
18.
You ran
Yeah.
18 today?
Yep, yep.
Even that-
18 lands.
Well, he was
18.
playing over
Nice.
40 as well.
Well, yeah.
I ended up playing like 45.
Yeah.
And then I cut
okay,
down
okay.
after my round 1. And then
I don't know.
That's
I've
probably
heard,
like 40
I've heard
points.
somewhere too where it was like 18 to 19 almost in mana sources, but like
19 seems insane.
I think in a mana, if you have like a Land of War kind of guy or something like that,
Oh,
some
yeah,
guy who produces
like,
mana,
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
your 19th source.
Yeah.
But like 18 solid lands might actually just be good in this format because I feel like just hitting those land drops is so important.
See, that's the other rock, paper, scissors part. So if you do that
Yeah.
and then you kind of like stumble for a minute, you lose to the aggro decks like what I built, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like, so it's this weird like teetery edge thing where
Yeah.
it's like hyper important to like play your lands, was also important to like do stuff.
Yeah.
They designed this set in a way where it's just like everything's kind of impactful to a certain extent or has some sort of other little, have like a kicker for, collect some evidence and it's going to be really strong.
The one thing,
Yeah.
it's as much as there is a million things to do, you can still mega get flooded in this set too. Because like, I feel like some of the other sets that we had, like you could like sack your lands to do stuff or like there
Yeah,
was
like
more like,
Cascade and yeah.
there was
Yeah.
like more like protection from flood. I feel like if you just draw like it makes it hard to run like do nothing 1 and 2 drops, right?
Yep.
Like bad 2 drops or like I feel like you kind of get punished for them in this set a little bit.
You can, but they're also kind of a necessity, like to just block the face down dudes, right? Like
Yep.
it's just or to attack the face down dudes even and like pressure. Like you can't just do whatever you want. It's just a weird thing, and it's like it also comes to a point where like even if your deck is like better than other people's deck, which is not the case for me tonight, but like if you draw the wrong portion of your deck, it doesn't
Oh, yeah,
matter,
yeah.
right? Like the sequencing in this format is so sequencing dependent. It feels like kind of that like you have to fix your sequence.
I think that's why the high synergy decks with the common uncommon decks, normally they're more synergistic. Just kind of lose in that respect because it's so sequence oriented. Where if somebody just drops like a bomb 5-drop rare, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what was like the 5/5 flyer? Let's say for instance, that has hexproof and something
Yeah.
else. It's just like, okay, I untapped with it. This is pretty much it now.
Yeah. There's like decks that can never beat that, right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
there's decks that can never beat drawing extra cards. And then there's decks that can never beat like 2/2s for 2.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so that's what makes me think it's like kind of rock, paper, scissors-y.
Mhm.
But like there's gotta be a way that you can consistently win.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of driven to figure that out. But when I do, I'll get back to you. Right now I'm on 5-color like rares.
5-color
Nonsense.
piles, yeah.
Yeah, like green's kind of underdrafted from
Yeah.
my experience.
Yeah.
And like Flourishing Bloomkin is like a bomb.
Yeah, that card's
Uh,
insane.
There's lots of good.
The Gardener's good too.
Yeah.
The 1/3s that filter are just like insane.
That card has that card was like a bomb in my deck.
Yeah, right. Like it's just
Yeah, I think that guy was good. I remember in Dominaria United, there was a guy who was just a 1/3 who filtered your mana, and that guy was actually just good enough to always have in the deck.
yeah.
In my deck, it felt like every time I played him, it was like a gambit. It was like, all right, are you going to let me have good mana? Or are you going to let me get a plant with Insidious?
Well, that's the thing with those decks.
Yeah.
So like if they kill that thing,
Yep.
they run the risk of not being able to kill the actual thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actual
Right.
bombs,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the other problem I'm having with this format is I'm really used to just firing off removal to clear to get damage through.
Yep.
And that's
can't
like
do it.
actively bad in this format, it feels like, right?
Yeah.
Like if I fire off my removal early and then you just play like Rakdos, like
Yeah.
what am I gonna do? Like I'm just gonna lose.
Kind of
right?
reminds me of like Sealed in that way, where you like
Yeah.
really have to hold back your removal unless you've got like a like just
Yeah,
all
like a
removal
2-turn
deck.
lethal. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. And it's just like, no, you got to be a little bit more lenient because you never know what bombs coming with bombs lurking in the distance here. And with that many extra rares too, like the threat of just people having bombs now is like pretty high.
Yep. And another thing I think is important to do in this format, so you don't go into that tank and like get locked down,
Mhm.
is to like organize your turn. And that's like a weird thing to say, but like, what are all the things you can possibly do, right? So like, I can flip this.
people
guy.
miss everything. Yeah,
Right.
people are super in the like missing everything.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
they go in the tank, and then they start like tripping, and they're in the tank, or like maybe they get rushed by like me. Because like if it's game 2 and you're taking like 10 minutes on turn 4, like I have to win game 3 to like to win, right? Like so I'm obviously gonna be like a little bit impatient. Like I try to be as patient as I can, but there's sometimes it's like, come on, you gotta fucking make a decision, right?
Yeah.
But like line out the things you can do and then just start eliminating them one by one. Like I'm not gonna do this, so I'm not gonna consider it anymore. I'm not gonna do this. Or like if you're gonna attack, do that and then see like what comes of it. Or if you're gonna surveil, do that and then see what comes of it. But like lay out all the lines you're gonna do and then slowly like eliminate those. Like I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? And because there's so many lines that just takes a while sometimes, but it's worthwhile.
Something that I need to do is just reread the card again, because I'm remembering some of these cards wrong now.
Yeah.
Because I had looked at them like a couple weeks ago and I was like, maybe I just misremembered how it was, or I added another casting cost, another colorless to it. Like today, there was that, the card I said was hella bad, that 04 wall. Like I thought it cost 3 because its activation cost was 3. And so I was like, 3, 3, 3. And so I played it and I delayed it by a turn because I was like, oh, I should have just looked at its casting cost and realized it's a freaking 02. Or one colorless, one white.
That card
Yeah.
won you the game.
It did win me the
today.
game. It did.
Against me.
Yeah, it did. It should have been in my sideboard, honestly. I don't think it was in my main board because my deck was more aggressive than I thought it was.
It's good.
Then I
in
realized
aggressive decks, so.
No, because it's mana hungry, and
Well,
I
it's
did a
only-
lot of shit with my mana.
Mana hungry once every 2 turns instead of every 1.
It felt
turn.
bad to actually put the stun counter on there because
It does. It's hard to navigate.
Yeah, because it's just like if you really want to get it out of the way, because your guy gets to untap first, right? On that, well, technically, mine maybe gets the stun counter off. It depends on when you do it.
You got to do it on their turn.
Yeah, because you can't be like aggressive with it. You have to be defensive with it, and so, or it's just mana intensive because you just have 3 mana always for that card.
Yeah.
And so that's where my sequencing kind of got messed up too, where I was like, ooh, I didn't play enough lands. So I don't know. Knowing what your deck does and the role it plays is probably a really big thing.
It's really hard to navigate board states and what to do when and all that.
And it's a new format too, so we're not as familiar with like what cards are actually like definitively better than others. Although I think that line is getting a little closer every time.
Yeah.
There's hardly very many. I mean, we did like bad cards last week. And so we were like, these are the worst. And I'm like, here I am like playing one of the worst cards I said, just because it was a true role player when I needed it. I needed an 04 wall that possibly tapped something against this hyper aggressive deck.
I was looking at the 17 land stats, which are like complete nonsense right now.
Yeah.
But in red white, which is like considered the best deck in the format right now, by like a pretty considerable margin, it's like 62% or something like that. And shock is below red herring in opening hand win rate.
I think red herring in an opening hand is pretty savage though.
Yeah, red herring is gross. It's kind of good.
It can be.
Like just
It has like a 60% opening hand.
like if you have it on 2, you're on the play. Like that's gotta feel real good when you're just like 1 drop herring something else.
I think in those Boros decks, it's more like 2-drop, play the 1/3, sneaky, now it's a 3/3.
Oh, that might be.
But maybe not. I don't know. Like I need to look into that once there's more data, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Just the fact that it can enable so much like attacks out of nowhere, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes
just
it
having
good.
haste is so strong with that card.
On 2, it's good too, obviously. And like the goat that gives it menace, and it's just like 2/2 menace, 2/2 menace, 2/2 menace. But
Oh, that'd be a sick line. The goat into that. Oh, jeez.
The most disgusting thing is that unicorn, the neighbor. That card is like
yeah, the unicorn's
so
sick. The unicorn
scary.
is sick.
So enough of all this negativity. Let's each pick one card we love from each color.
Each color.
Each color.
Each color. Each color. It's Valentine's Day is coming up. The season of love. So let it doesn't have to be good. It absolutely does not have to be good. And let's all start us off with a random green card. And I'll choose I love the Nervous Gardener. It's so good. I love it.
Can we do a quick description of it?
Yeah,
So
it's the 2-mana disguise creature that whenever it's turned face up, it's a 2/2, and you get a land. And
Cool.
its disguise cost is only 1 mana.
Yeah.
So
And then you trade it and get your land.
yep, you trade it for their upside down guy.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
It's
good.
great.
It is.
It feels amazing.
I
I
love
love it too.
I'm with it. I like Flourishing Bloomkin.
Yeah, that's
It's,
busted. Yeah,
it's
it's
the-
even better.
Yeah. It's a disguise 0/0.
Uh-huh.
And it gets, when you flip it face up, you get to search your library for 2 forests, which
Yeah.
can be the surveil lands, and put 1 in the battlefield, 1 in your hand. And you got to turn it face up for 5. And its power and toughness is equal to the number of forests you control.
It's a bomb.
That guy has been insanely good.
I posted a 7-color deck that I
7-win.
finally 5-color 7-win deck that I finally trophied with.
Yeah.
And every time I drew that guy, it was just, I'm winning the game. I'm winning the game. Unless you kill it before I flip it, I'm winning the game.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's like constantly like a 5/5 to a 6/6.
Did you see that mono green deck that
Yes,
was
I
posted in the
did.
trophy? That
That
had
was-
4 of them. It's insane.
It was so
With
good.
17 forests.
It was insane.
Yeah, that seems like
Yeah.
absolute busted stuff that you'll never be able to do again. Like,
That's how my deck tonight felt. Was like busted stuff. I'm never
Oh,
gonna
man.
happen again.
I
Yeah,
love the little mana guy.
yeah, he's
the tunnel
amazing.
tipster?
Tunnel
Tunnel
tipster
tipster?
rules.
I
too.
just love the guy. It's kind of fun because you're just like, he gets a little value. You know, he's like, he kind of grows a little bit, but he's just there. He's
He
just-
also just taps for mana. He's
yeah,
great. He's
I really like the
awesome,
guy.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, he rules.
yep.
So for red cards,
Mhm.
the 2-mana detective, the 03.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. It's
Reckless
unbelievably
Detective, I believe.
disgusting.
Reckless.
I don't know that I love it though. It's just really good.
I do. That's my
Okay.
favorite.
All right, I'm gonna choose demand answers. I love demand answers.
The-
Random bad discard a card. It's better than normal though, because you can discard. You can sack
Sack
an
artifacts.
artifact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can sack like a clue,
Yep.
which is like draw a card, but it doesn't cost 2 mana.
I sacked God, I do love that card too.
It's so good.
I had the equipment that flips, the disguise equipment,
Mhm.
and like menace dudes. And like when he finally blocks it,
Mhm.
like I flip the thing and kill both of his guys, and then I just demand answers and sack it and draw 2 cards. Like, it was so sick.
Yeah.
Like cards like demand answers are like what Ryan's talking about whenever he says your decks need to be tight.
Yeah.
You need to be able to
You-
like
you need
cycle.
demand answers.
Yes. Yeah. Like
Sifting through cards like that one's really
just
fun.
helps so much.
Like literally going into pack 3 tonight, I was like, I need to aggressively take demand answers, and I only saw one.
yeah. Because I was taking them, right? Like
I think there were some other ones that I saw that had demand answers in their deck. I think people were just really kind of getting onto that card where it's
Yeah.
like,
the
yeah, this
thing
card's
is
pretty
though,
decent.
is that no matter how good demand answers is, it's so infinitely worse than the 03.
Yeah.
that
No.
card is like a demand answers on a 2/3 for
Yeah.
2 mana, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
2/3s are sick.
Yeah.
Anything
which
with
are
3
insane in
toughness
this
is
format. Yeah. It's super hard to block. Yeah. It's a bomb.
I love Galvanize.
Basic.
No, I just feel like
It is
this
good.
is one of the more easier ones to trip, like drawing 2 cards a turn or drawing a second card a turn. Normally, that's always been kind of a little tough sometimes, but I feel like in this format, it was just like,
Yeah.
blue,
Yep.
done.
Yeah.
Get you for 5. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was
Galvanize
surprised how
is sick,
easy
yeah.
it was to trip.
4 mana deal 5 draw a card is insane.
It's
Right?
it's
Yeah.
just good. Yeah.
And 2-mana deal 3 is like pretty good too.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, I like it.
we're positive.
We're feeling
This is
positive today.
Valentine's.
Yeah, Valentine's.
Love
Day.
it.
Okay, so what's our next color? Black. I just love 2-mana. Make your opponent discard a card. Unscrupulous, whatever.
Yeah.
I just
Agent.
like I live and die on cards like that, right? Like just attritioning people out with bad 2-drops that just make them exile. Like I love cards like that. That's just my
I
boy.
have a 2-party here. Fester Leech, just because it's the 1-mana 1/1 they can pump to be a 3/3.
That shit was good.
Yeah, because it's like unblockable almost.
Yeah.
And it's unswing intuable. Like it's good on both like phases.
Yeah.
But the 1/3 flyer that you exile to make 2 1/1s,
I love that card
I
too.
don't like that
I love
card.
it.
So good.
It's
I
so
don't like
good,
it.
genuinely.
it
I
checks
don't
all
like
the
it.
buttons. It's literally like a 1/3 for 2, which is just good in this format.
It has flying,
It has flying,
Yeah.
which is good. in
and it's
this
a
format.
1/3 with flying. So
Yeah.
it blocks every flyer.
It blocks the
till
2/2.
turn 5.
Yeah.
And then it makes 2 more flyers later.
Yeah, which is sick.
It's a mana sink later. Like it's all the stuff.
Yeah.
It's leering onlookers. So
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love the sacrifice card still. I'm still high on that card.
yeah,
Where
that
you
card's
just-
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
I just like the scaling of it. You know, it scales good into the late game, which is like where you can start hitting bombs with that card. So yeah, that one's really. I think I was high on it last week. Still high on
Anything
it.
that kills bombs, right?
Yeah.
Like you kind of need in this
Mhm.
format.
Yep. And that's the best way to do it because it only costs 2.
Yep. You gotta collect evidence though, but
Yeah. And next up we have
white cards?
Yep.
Oh, I love the Thraben Inspector. It's so
Oh, that
good.
card's
It's
good.
so unbelievably broken
good.
in this format. Yeah. Like it feels so feel bad that the decks drawing the most cards are like red white. like that sucks. That's a thing. Like that you get to make clues in your aggressive red white decks.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, I really love the unicorn. Like
The
I never
unicorn
thought
rules,
about
yeah,
it, but
that-
I've been able to play with it several times now, and
It has like a 70 something opening hand win rate. It's crazy. It's the highest opening hand win rate.
it's just
for
the ultimate attack enabler. I mean,
Yeah.
It just enables
Yeah.
every attack you could ever want to do,
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
and that's a 2-mana. The unicorn, by the way, is called Neighborhood Guardian. It's 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, any creature you control gets +1/+1.
Oh wow, that's good. That's very strong.
Bro, the flips, like when they have a face down card, and
You
they're-
can never block.
What if they have Dog Walker?
Yeah, Dog
Yeah,
Walker.
Dog
What if they have Dog Walker?
What if they have the Gadgeteer that makes a Thopter?
Yeah.
You just get blown out.
Yeah.
And like
Or Dog
nothing.
Walker.
Dog
Yeah.
Dog
Walker.
Walker is just so
Yeah.
good. Dog Walker is just so good, man.
Yeah.
If we were doing multicolors, I like Dog Walker. But for my white, Inside Source, I just like it. I like these cards that just make other cards with them. I think just having board presence in this.
It's more real than I was expecting.
It's so good.
Well,
the
'cause it can
fact
pump
that-
the token.
That I can pump the token is crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
make your own 4/4 or
Have to
4
block it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Not block it?
You have to like
Make it-
sacrifice one of your good
Yeah.
flip guys to like actually do it. Yeah.
It
feels
is
so bad.
unfortunate that it is activate only as a sorcery though.
Yeah.
For the
And it
plus
costs
2.
3.
Yeah, it
Cost
well, the
3, but
cost 3 is whatever, but if it could activate instant speed,
Yeah.
I'd be totally
That
about
would
it.
be insane.
The vigilance wouldn't matter, but like the +2/+0 definitely does.
Yep.
it's so scary whenever they have a flyer.
The Granite Witness,
inside
the white blue one.
Yeah.
You just like take 5.
Oh
Like,
gosh, yeah.
oh my God.
Or-
I have to kill that.
What's even worse is the black white guy, the one with flying and
Oh,
lifelink.
you can't do it to that guy. 'cause
He's a
not a detective.
I thought he was a detective. No,
Mm.
he's not.
No. You're not. That guy's sick though.
That guy is
He's
sick.
good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
That guy's
All the
insane.
like the multicolored commons are just so sick.
Yeah.
We should do that next. Our favorites of those two. We're gonna throw that in.
We're
throwing it in.
What colors do we have left?
We need blue.
Blue?
Yep. None of
Oh,
them.
what's
no,
my
I'm just
favorite
kidding.
blue?
Oh shit.
I haven't played all that much blue.
There's an island sitting in that pile.
Yeah, well, like it's one island in this pile. Oh, I love. I'm gonna choose. I want to say Projector Inspector, but one of my favorite blue cards is the Thopter guy. It's a red-blue card. The one that the 3/2
Yep.
that flips and makes a Thopter. I kind of just love that card.
I'm hoping you're gonna take the one that you played tonight, Andrew. I'll just let you go, and if you don't take it, I'll take it.
Exit specialist. Yeah.
Exit
Freaking love that.
Specialist is disgusting.
That guy is just overperforms.
Yeah.
Overperforms.
What does he do?
The exit specialist is 1 colorless, 1 blue for a human detective, and when exit specialist cannot be blocked by creatures of power 3 or greater. And then it has disguise as well.
So it just always trades.
And so you have it's disguise cost. Disguise cost is 1 colorless and 1 blue. And then when it's turned face up, you get to return another target creature to its owner's hand.
Sick.
Just good. Like, I'm surprised how good kind of bounces in this set. There's a lot of like incidental auras. There's a lot of like put counters on my guys, and it's like just bounce it back to your hand, get it out of the way.
Yep.
I mean, there were times where I was just flipping this guy as like a 5-drop.
Yeah.
3 down, flip, bounce it.
Yep.
We're out of here.
Like sometimes it just feels like a time walk too.
Felt like it.
He's like save 2 mana, you play a 4-drop, cool, flip it, take 6. Like, what do you?
Man of War, man. Man of War was good.
So since I knew you were gonna say that,
Thank you.
I have a highly flipped on Jaded Analyst. Jaded Analyst is, but not for the reason that Andrew played it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it in that deck, but I do like it in the specifically Simic do everything decks.
Yeah,
because a 3/2 on 2 is just unpassable for so long.
Yeah. Like they can't even like flip stuff to kill it, right?
Like I played it and I was never drawing a second card and attacking with it. It's just specifically to block.
Yeah.
It's a good blocker.
It's a great
good blocker.
blocker.
Yeah, it's a very good blocker.
It's a great
and then the occasional like attack with it just feels very good.
I think I played 4 of them in that deck. And I was like, I love it. I love it.
It's so good. Yeah, I love it too. And then we're gonna do multicolored.
Should we just do commons? Or no, we can do anything. Let's just do anything.
Yeah.
Why put limits on it?
Dude, I didn't know. Like, literally, I put Insidious Roots in my deck because I wanted to flip my Saga and I needed more black permanents. But, like, actually playing with it, that card is so real.
Yeah.
It's genuinely so real. And I just love it.
The fact that it only costs 2 is
It's
so
2
massive.
mana. Yeah. Which, what are you doing on 2 anyways?
Yeah, there is. If there's one turn you can do nothing on,
it's 2.
It's turn 2.
In
1
this
and 2.
format,
1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the green-white common. It's a 4/4 for 5.
I have it.
And whenever you
Crowd Control Warden.
Yep. Whenever it's turned face up or enters the battlefield, which is huge when those cards say both of those things, because like they're so much more playable because you can just play it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But X11 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures you control, which even if it's only 2, it's a 6/6 and it's massive. That's
huge.
massive.
So big.
What are they going to do? Block with their Rakdos? Like,
I had to.
Yeah. Genuinely.
I had to.
It's so tight.
That's lifelink, baby.
I low-key like the flip reach guy, the 6/7.
Yeah, he's good
too.
I just really like that. I was like, wow. It costs 7 mana, but it flips for 6. And you're just like, 6 feels like a bargain for that. I was just like, it actually just felt good. I was like, I had a deck this week with it, and I was just like, this is all right. I could use a couple more of these guys.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Dude, it kind of like paying 6 mana for like a 5/5 in this format. You're just like, man, it's so big though. Like how are they ever going to deal with it? Yeah.
I'm almost certain all the hybrid guys are just good. All the hybrid flip guys are just all might just be good.
Honestly, the worst one, Fairy Snoop.
It's a 1/4.
It's the worst one.
Doesn't it draw you a card or something?
Yeah,
it's
not
so
good enough.
Yeah,
for 6 mana, you get to draw a card and you have a 1/4.
It's so good. I've actually
It's
liked
not.
it. Yeah.
I promise you, it's not.
I wish
it's the
what
only
they
one that
needed
flips
to
with the
do.
indestructible is good too.
The problem with it is that it shouldn't cost.
It should cost 2.
It should cost 2.
should cost
There's
2.
no reason why it should cost 3.
3 is so much mana to save
It
up.
feels weird, right? Like, because you never have 1-drops in this format.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it feels super bad to have to, like, flip it the next turn and then you can do nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a tempo loss.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
All right.
It can be good, but I think it's the worst one.
Yeah. Yep. So
right.
what's up next?
Y'all
Ryan?
want to crack a pack?
Yeah. Let's crack
All
the
right.
pack.
Let's open up some spoils of the F&M
All right.
here.
Give us the rundown.
We're starting with a Thopter. Undraftable.
Thopter
I like it.
token.
I like
All
it.
right. All right. A Swamp. And then we're going to have the Alley Assailant. That's
Throw it
the,
away. The 3/3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the 3/3.
okay. That's okay.
That's the one that
Flip to
flips
drain
Yeah,
and
that's
drain
fine.
3.
Yep.
We have, as our rare, we have Homicide Investigator. That's whenever
Absolute disgusting bomb.
it's pretty good. That's whenever one or more token creatures you control die, you get to investigate, and it only triggers once per turn.
Very good.
Yeah.
Non-token creatures.
Non-token
Non-token.
creatures. Non-token
Yep,
creatures.
yep.
I was like, token? What?
All
Have I
right.
been playing
Very good.
Yeah.
It's at the top of the pack
Non-token.
right now,
Non-token.
man.
Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, investigate.
That's the pick so
All
far.
right. Absolving Lamasu.
Unplayable.
Buried in the Garden.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
The 4 mana, it's cost 4, right? Or 5?
Yeah, 4 mana exile thing, buff your land.
Buff your land. Yeah, that card's so good. Yeah.
And then we have the Burden of Proof. That's the one that can pump detectives you control or make other creatures vulnerable.
Whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Then we also have as our 4th uncommon, Lead Pipe.
Whatever.
Yep. That's
Nobody
one of the worst
cares.
slews.
Undercover, was it Crowfoot?
Crocolisk.
I was playing that
Yeah.
today.
Crocodile.
It was just,
Crocodile.
it was just
That's
fun.
the elf,
It's whatever.
We've got Red Herring,
Pretty good.
apparently.
Loxodon, Dropper,
Yeah.
Not
fine.
very good.
It's fine.
I don't love it.
It's not great.
I was playing one. but
Reasonable Doubt,
Fine.
Sanguine Savior,
Good. Very
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Actually.
Due
Yeah.
Diligence,
Not
Whatever. Not good.
and then we have Agency Coroner.
Not
Also
playable.
not good. It might be.
So
It's a
let's
3/6. It's huge.
let's say the rare is not here because I feel like the rare is just so far and away.
There's
I think
an
there's
argument.
there's an
Is there an
argument for
argument?
buried in
yeah,
the garden.
Yeah.
Buried in the Garden is
You can
pretty
choose
strong.
that. Yeah. Like I wouldn't
I think Black X is like kind of bad in this format, even though there's all the removal.
Really?
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
You just want to be where green is. Like I feel like green's right now is doing pretty well.
I don't think you have to be, but
Um,
that's where I want to be. Yeah.
Selesnya has a pretty high win rate.
Green fixing with removal tacked on is like so good.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
But I think like
There's
this
an
kind of
argument.
illustrates the point I was making of like all the cards are like playable. Like there's like
They're
3
all-
cards in this pack, 4 cards
Mhm.
that are like
Pretty good.
you wouldn't want to take. Like you wouldn't put in a deck most likely. Like
Mhm.
you wouldn't play Due Diligence. You wouldn't play the 3/6 attacks. You don't really want to play the Eavesdropper, and you probably wouldn't play the Lamasu. Everything else in this deck is like in this pack is
Burden
like,
of Proof is
playable.
mildly unplayable too.
I think it's fine.
It's
yeah.
whatever.
And Lead Pipe, but
Lead
like,
Pipe is mildly unplayable,
but there's some decks that'll
yeah,
play both of
it's
those
definitely
cards.
not the
There's some
worst.
decks that'll play the Eavesdropper too, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
There's only 3 cards in this deck that like are like very rarely played in this whole pack. So to
Yeah.
me, that's kind of goes with the point I'm illustrating. Like trying to,
Yeah. The 5/5's kind of whatever too.
it's fine though.
It's fine.
It's a 5/5.
It's a
It's a
5/5 for
5/5
6.
5,
Like
yeah.
Like compare it to the Agent Coroner, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like way better. It's way better.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That is true. I do like that card.
You ever just connect with it? It's just so good.
Yeah.
So
I think I would honestly prefer to take Buried in the Garden.
I would take the 2
rare.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the Homicide Investigator.
But I would it depends on the day. Some days I might just take the Buried in the Garden. It's
The
very
only-
good.
Yeah, the only reason I would is because right now I'm on like green, play all your bombs is like the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
And that
Helps you play
that
all
lets
your
you
bombs.
do that, and it cuts off everyone else downstream from you from being able to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true. Taking the fixing early, there is some
Yep.
merit. to
That's
that
pretty
for
nice.
sure.
Yeah. It's good fixing there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't
And Joel, watch him on stream,
Mm-hmm.
5 mana, played on his 1 mana, use that mana to pay for the ward.
No way.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
such a good play.
That's interesting. Yeah, because it's already on the.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so
something
weird.
you can do with it. It's neat.
Yeah, because it comes into play enchanted. Wow, that's a good tip.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Good tip. Good tip.
Thanks, Joel.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Hope he's killing it in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You want to read them, man?
Sure.
that's cool.
All right. Big money.
Oh, I've also been drafting on MTGO where you have to take the money cards. And it pisses me off.
I mean, you could just win, right? Or you have to. I guess some of the big
Like-
money cards are like big money, right?
You're not going to take a $5 land
Yeah,
when each draft
yeah.
basically only costs $2 if you win 2 games.
Jeez, so good.
All right. We got Case of the Ransacked Lab, which is the case that instant sorcery spells cost 1 less. And if you cast 4 or more in a turn, whenever you cast them, you draw.
Ooh.
That's one of the unplayable cards.
Actually unplayable, yeah.
Second rare. Actually, it might have been good in that Demir deck I played, but I don't think I ever solved it. Just casting 1 less. Might
Yeah.
be okay. I don't know.
It's
Maybe.
It's tough.
But yeah, probably unplayable. Next up, we have Blood Splatter Analysis, which is the Rakdos enchantment that deals 3 when it ATBs. And whenever a creature dies, you mill 1. And when it gets 5 counters, you can return a creature from your graveyard to your hand.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
That card's good.
Yeah, the card's really good. Then we have Mistway Spy. That's the 1 mana blue 1/1 Merfolk Detective with disguise and flying. And when it's turned face up, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate.
Oh man, I wish I had that tonight.
It's kind of clunky.
It's kind of clunky, but it's
Yeah,
I still
it's
think
good.
pretty
I
Man,
still
when you
think
get
it's
like
good too,
two, when you get 2 investigate tokens out of it, it feels very good.
Yeah. Then we have Rune Brand Juggler. This is what I was really hoping to find tonight in Rakdos because it's unlimited removal for 2. It's the 2 mana 2/2. On ATBs, you may suspect 1 other creature you control. Then you can pay 5 and give something -5. Sacrifice a suspected creature and give something -5/-5.
It's good.
Oof, man.
It's very good.
We have Curious Cadaver, 3/1 flyer for 4, blue and a black. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Clues draw 2 now.
That's so good with chalk outline.
It is.
Like hella
And
good with chalk
Insidious
outline.
Roots?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
it's
That's true.
insane.
And it's like its own combo with chalk outline.
With chalk outline, yeah, it's a funny little combo.
Lumbering Laundry, 5 mana 4/5 disguise, flip face up for 5, and you can pay to look at face down creatures.
I have literally never seen that card in my entire life.
It's a 4/5 for 5. That's
Yeah,
close.
maybe that's just good.
Maybe it's one of
Maybe
those.
it's just playable.
I think it might be one of those disguise creatures that like they think you don't that they want to kill. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and then if you flip it up, it's still 4/5. I don't know.
yeah. How much does it cost to flip up?
5.
Damn, I thought it was gonna cost 4 or something to get a little discount.
It's really expensive. Benthic Criminologist, 4 and a blue for a 4/5. When ATBs are attacked, sacrifice an artifact. You may sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. Mid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's a 4/5 though.
Bite Down on Crime, 3 and a green sorcery. Collect evidence 6. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature. If you collect evidence, it only costs 2 instead of 4.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's big removal, which is what green needs.
He's
But-
kind of.
Yeah. Public Thoroughfare. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap an artifact or a land or sacrifice it, and then it taps for any color.
Super playable.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Out cold. 2 stun counters on stuff and investigate.
Too slow.
Defenstrated Phantom. I don't know.
Unplayable.
Mm,
Defenstrated Phantom.
It's like
4/3
kinda-
flyer for 6 with disguise
that one's
for
rough
1
to
and
play.
1.
Yeah.
Snarling Gorehound.
Oh man.
1/1 menace for 1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield with power 2 or less, surveil 1.
Yeah.
One of those cards you need to make your
There
deck
used to be like
tighter.
a fear goblin. It was like prickly boggart or something like that. It was really good back when it was in its format. Hey, there you go.
An escape tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you take here?
I probably take Blood Spatter Analysis, but I'm upset that I'm passing Rune Brand Juggler.
Because you know you're putting
I think
somebody in.
Runebound. There is an argument to just take Runebound Juggler.
Maybe Blood Splatter
Spatter.
is really good.
It's very good.
So
right?
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I think like most of the time though, the Juggler is probably actually better.
maybe.
Like
could
just
see it.
having a 2/2, like
It's for 2?
yeah. yeah,
Good.
like
Sacks in the late game to like be
yeah,
relevant.
yeah,
Yeah.
genuinely,
Sacks
yeah.
itself.
It's all right. I think that, man, I just really like that splatter analysis. There's so many
It
bombs.
seems better.
There's so many bombs that you want to get back
Yeah.
most of the time, and tripping that thing off is extremely easy.
Yeah, it's trivial.
It's their
Yeah.
creatures and yours.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. The mill is kind of, and it fuels itself too with the mill.
Yeah.
So even if you're like happen to kill all their creatures and you didn't kill any one of your creatures go to the graveyard, you're still milling yourself.
Yep.
At least 5 there. So
I also aside from those two cards,
Mhm.
really like Escape Tunnel here.
I thought Escape Tunnel. I was looking at that. I was joking
I
at
don't
it.
like Escape Tunnel more than I like the other
Public Thoroughfare.
one. Yeah.
Oh, I think the Escape Tunnel.
Public Thoroughfare can be very good, but it's
It can be
it
awkward.
goes in less decks.
For sure.
The
Like you
tempo
never
loss is
played in
rough.
an aggressive deck. Yeah. I've tried that once and just got bought.
Unless you're making hella clues, which then it's fine. Because you can
Yeah,
sack the
yeah.
tapped clues too.
Hell
like
yeah.
it's fine. I made a play mistake with that on Arena 2 that tilted me to oblivion. I played it and then I tapped my swamp, but it tapped it for mana because I didn't wait for the trigger on MTGO, and then it instantly sacked itself because I had auto yields on when I had nothing to do, and I was like, oh my god,
Oh, that sucks.
I was so sad.
Oh man.
In my 5-color pile deck, I was like, oh,
I tap my Gravestone Strider all the time. Just
nice, yeah. That's
I
sick.
did that all the time. Yeah. Or Codex, Cryptex.
Which cards in this format would you not take until like the bottom? What's the bottom 4 of this pack? The
The-
Defenstrated Phantom,
Yeah, that's one.
The
Vintage
case.
Criminologist.
The case.
The case.
The case, yeah, the
Actually.
case is definitely bad.
But it might be good. Like I would be.
I think
would
somebody's
take
rare
it
drafting
super
it.
late. Yeah.
Somebody's just rare drafting it at that point.
And then I think it's between Lumbering Laundry and Out Cold.
Yeah. Out Cold's no good.
I think it can be.
I-
but yeah, it's not ideal.
We're still at the point in this set where like we're finding uses for things,
If
right?
I had an out
Yeah.
cold in my detectives deck, it might have been pretty good just to
I
get
think
by
it
the
would've
big
been.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially 2 stun counters on it is a long time.
Yep. Especially if you do it on their turn.
Oh,
it's
man.
one sun counter, but it's
Oh,
on
it's
their
one?
turn. But
Oh.
you can do it on their turn.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I think.
And it has Investigate stapled onto it. But yeah, like Out Cold and Lumbering Laundry, still playable. That like so 3 cards that you'd be like pretty unhappy to play in the whole pack. But then there's some packs that are just
Garbage. Yeah.
they just if you open them first, especially.
I feel like they're
you're
just
oh,
less and
God.
less. I'm finding though, like where it's just like these are all terrible.
Yeah.
Like even tonight, I was like, there's still like one good card in here, and then I'm hearing people at the table being like, this pack is still insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You open the 2 bomb rares and you have to pass one.
Oh, that feels bad. It does feel bad.
I
though.
think we're still at a point in this format where like things that you think are bad can be good in your deck still.
Yep.
Like I opened a Quintorius and played it. Like that card is garbage. Like it genuinely is like not a good card, but like it's all about like right now finding like the secrets, right?
Yep.
And like finding uses for stuff.
Yeah, they all have. They're all like so many cards are just super useful in different scenarios.
Like I tabled the Cryptex.
Yeah.
And I just knew like this is gonna be insane with this Quintorius. And
I don't
look
think I ever
at
saw it. You tabled it.
I tabled
You
it.
tabled it.
I tabled it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I just don't have eyes for it.
Yeah, because
I
it's
know.
so bad.
Either.
It's not good. And everybody at the table teased me about it.
Yeah.
We totally did.
They're like, it's unplayable. But like, whenever I was making plants with it, Ryan killed it.
I mean, I had the
He
ape.
had the ape.
What else
But
am I
like,
gonna kill?
but like you
Yeah.
sideboarded it in the ape for it, right?
I wanted the ape more specifically on 3 to kill the 1/3 was like the goal with the sideboard of the ape. To just slow you down a little bit. but
Yeah.
incidentally getting the Cryptex at that point in the game saved me 1 turn of not dying, I guess. Right? Like you
Yeah.
probably could just kill me 1 turn earlier.
Yeah. So I think that's all we got this week. What's our superfecta, Ryan?
Our superfecta is predictions.
Very vague. Very vague of you.
Cryptic.
Very cryptic. Yep. So what do you have first, Ryan? Are you gonna lead us off? The Super Bowl's coming up.
Yeah, it'll be over by the time this goes.
Yeah, but
My
what,
favorite team, the Falcons, make the playoffs next year.
Oh,
Bet on it. Just kidding. Not financial advice.
oh gosh.
so we picked this because the Super Bowl's coming up. Another thing that I care about is coming up, which I don't actually care about, but I watch every year. The Oscars, and I think Barbie's gonna win Best Picture super undeservedly.
I think Oppenheimer is gonna win. That's my prediction. I'm with
I vote
Oppenheimer.
Andrew.
Holy smokes.
I don't know. Everyone's so crazy about
it's a
it.
pretty-
Like everyone loves Barbie.
What's the chances of
I never
Ryan
saw
Gosling
Oppenheimer.
just like denying his like
I think Barbie's gonna win. I want Poor Things to win, or the Past Lives one, which no one has ever seen ever. But it's good. I watched it.
Leftovers is really good too. I don't know.
Holdovers?
Holdovers, yeah. Holdovers.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
I wanna
good.
See it, yeah.
But like
I've been trying to
Paul
watch
Giamatti movies hardly ever win.
I've been trying to watch them all the best picture ones.
Oh, good.
I still haven't seen Oppenheimer or the.
All right, let's see. So I'm predicting Oppenheimer's winning at this point. I predict that.
Let me pull up more categories to
Oh,
predict.
oh gosh.
I thought you had a wrestling one on deck.
I do have a wrestling one on deck. I predict that Cody Rhodes is about to win that undisputed championship right now. The Universal Championship's not undisputed anymore because they split the belts up. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is about to win that belt. Night 2, WrestleMania. I've got another prediction on that too. But just to chain along with that is probably gonna have to beat The Rock along the way.
Oh no, I pulled up Grammys, which already happened.
Who predict those?
What about next year?
Yeah,
Next year,
predict the hottest rapper in the game next year.
Beyonce. Okay, this is my prediction. Beyonce will never win a Grammy ever.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because she hasn't yet, right? So she never will.
All right. Since we're talking about music, Kanye will release his most fire album this year, 2024.
Kanye will release the worst album ever. He's unhinged.
Yeah,
he's unhinged.
It's gonna be
It's
fantastic, dude. The unhinged Kanye is the best Kanye for music. Kanye will release his best album ever in 2024 and probably win for it.
No.
And then after that, well, before that, probably Cody Rhodes loses at Royal Rumble. He loses, and everyone is so upset.
So is it my turn now?
Yep.
Okay. Yorgos Lanthimos will win Best Director for Poor Things. That's what I'm hoping for at the Oscars.
Okay, cool.
My boy.
Yorgos.
I actually am a huge Yorgos fan. He did Dogtooth and my favorite movie of all time, The Lobster.
I predict that
You need some
2
more
of the Packmates will queue up for some big tournament this year.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
So Joel's a given. It's just which one of us will do it.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm planning on going to Dallas at least. Might try to qualify for it.
I think so. I think it'd be kind of fun to
do
that run back. And then let's see. I predict Lightning Bolt will be reprinted.
No
I think
way.
it just might be good as
standard set.
in a standard set. I think we're getting Lightning Bolt back in Magic.
You think they're teasing us with the shock?
I think that I think the way things have been power creeping, the spells need to start coming up to the creatures at this point now.
Thoughtseize. Yeah, maybe Thoughtseize in Magic somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thoughtseize has come back a couple times.
Yep.
Lightning Bolt came back a few times too.
Yeah.
Been a while for Lightning
And
Bolt.
Lightning Bolt's due. They teasing us with Lightning
In
Helix.
Strixhaven, they kind of teased it, put on that bonus sheet.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
There's a bet on the Vegas books that you can do before this comes out. So after this comes out, you won't be able to hear it. But Roby and Andrew can do it. It's legitimately $100,000 if you bet $1. Okay. Aliens invade the Super Bowl and the game ends in a tie. It's a lock, boys. It's a lock. Why would Vegas have that on the books if it wasn't going to happen?
That's such a crazy bet. Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Is that really on the book?
Man.
I saw some videos, one of the books had it on there.
Oh man.
What a just dumb way to just make free money
Yeah.
by just making bets that will never happen. I would definitely.
10 cents to win 10 G's, baby.
Yeah, I would never do that. Like
10 cents?
I would bet 10 grand against 10 cents 1,000% of the time in that situation. Yeah,
To gain 10 cents?
to gain 10 cents
Like a lottery ticket, you know?
over and over and over again. Yeah,
Oh, gosh. I bet that some people will put money on it. That's my prediction.
that's your
Oh
prediction.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's all we got this week.
And I predict the next set's going to be way more fire than this one.
That's.
I'm
good,
excited
yeah.
for the Western theme.
Yep, I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. Big country
Gunslinger.
music
Yeah.
fans here. All right, that's all we got this week. Bye.
Catch you boys on the flippity flop.
Yeah.
Joel's still not signing out. All right, bye.
Court silence for Joel sign out.